I know. It is late. I see you live chat. It's late, but look, it's a Saturday night, and I still got more left in the tank. I hope you do as well. Holly, I know you're on break. Chris, I know you're thinking that you're old. Please, I see your header photo. You ain't old. You're looking like a little bottle of fine wine, which is what we're doing tonight. Bobby After Dark. Welcome in. A little Josh Cabernet Sauv. Looking forward to it. Tonight is brought to you by my friends at Primary Residential Mortgage. And while we will talk Ravens football, and while we will discuss this in detail in terms of what we saw post-game between Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson, which seems to be always a touching moment, wholesome moments that they consistently share since they shared the field with one another a few years back in 2019. We'll also get into what this might mean and obviously big picture, but in the here and now, with a quick turnaround in a Wednesday game in Houston. It's not like it's a Wednesday game at home. It's a Wednesday game in Houston. This is a significantly short week. And, of course, the Houston Texans loom. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Kansas City Chiefs loom. So there's a lot on the line. Cheers to you. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. All that good stuff. Old heads, you know who you are. Taurus, pour something out. You're damn lucky I don't have a humidor in here because I'd be having that Ed Reed cigar that Freddie gave me earlier today. I can't remember what Asmodeus gave me or what the name of it was. It's somewhere in my bed. It's probably right over there, but we got a show to cover. Welcome inside. Glad you guys can be with me tonight. Let's see what late night's all about. Let's see what Bobby After Dark is all about. What could possibly go wrong? Not much went wrong for the Ravens tonight, aside from, 2 penalties, an interception, and a couple other things here and there. I mean, it's 34-17, a thumping of the Pittsburgh Steelers. A playoff berth has been clinched. At the very least, they will be in. Now, their sights set, obviously, on a division title, which is very much still in play. They got contributions from all 3 phases tonight, and handed Pittsburgh its worst loss in this rivalry series since 2019. And according to @UpshotNYT on X, the Ravens are now the favorites to win the division. If the postseason began tomorrow, they would match up as the 5 seed on the road against the 4 seed Houston Texans. Now, Ravens moved to 10-5. Again, Pittsburgh's next 2 games will be home against Kansas City. The Chiefs beat Houston today, improved to 14-1 as a result. And then they will finish the year, again, against a team that still feels like it still has a mathematical chance to get in, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. So 2 home games to finish up, including Christmas Day against Kansas City, and then Cincinnati for the Steelers. As for the Ravens, we know the drill from here on out. It's at Houston on Christmas Day, which is Wednesday, and then home against the Cleveland Browns. Bo Smolka noting that if both teams win out, it's the series split, right? They both end up 4-2 in the division. The next tiebreaker is record versus common opponents, and it looks like Pittsburgh would have the edge. So the Ravens have to win out, but they need a little bit of luck. Maybe not luck, but a little bit of help from Kansas City and or Cincinnati. And I don't think that's all that outlandish. It's not that big of an ask, if you will. So that's what's coming up. And that is the playoff picture entering now week 17. Week 16 will finish up tomorrow, of course. Is there a Monday night game this year? I should say this week. Yes, there is. Saints and Packers. So that'll finish up on Monday night, and then it'll be a quick turnaround to week 17 with several Christmas Day games. As for Lamar, while it wasn't a Jackson 5 performance or one of his more notable ones, it was still historic. He passed his 37th touchdown. That is a single-season career high. It's a franchise record. And it surpasses what he accomplished 36 in 2019, which, of course, was his first full season as a starter and his first MVP season. Lamar's final numbers, 15 of 23 in the air, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, a pick. He was sacked once, and he finished with a quarterback rating of 115.4. 9 carries, 22 yards on the ground. So a modest day there. Again, he came in, 109 rushing yards away from the all-time record. Perhaps he gets to that number in the postseason, or should he go off over the next couple weeks? I mentioned it a second ago. Whenever Lamar and Tom Brady link up, whether it was during their on-field days up against one another indirectly, or now in Tom's post-playing career when it comes to the media side of things, it always makes for a great interaction. And Tom's LFG player of the game went to Lamar. And I love this screenshot right here. And it's the thumbnail of this video. The GOAT has always seemed to lean into Lamar, embrace Lamar, build Lamar up, right? Be an advocate for Lamar. Be somebody who is supportive of Lamar. And I know a lot of you appreciate that just as much as I have. Here is that interaction courtesy of NFL on Fox post-game just a short while ago in Baltimore.
Congratulations, Lamar. You're today's LFG player of the game. Another great performance by you and the team. Tell me, in some respects, it's been a little bit of a frustrating year. You guys have 5 losses, but did we finally see today what the potential of this team is?
Absolutely, and I still feel like there's room for improvement with us. That turnover after that drive down the field, but our defense stepped up for us. It came through. But the season is just getting started, like I said last week. Still room for improvement, though.
Yeah, how have you guys continued to adapt over the course of the season to kind of the different circumstances you guys have faced?
Just competing with each other at practice, just like treating it like a game, but just trying to keep our body fresh and everyone staying dialed in, starting with walkthrough, meetings, stuff like that, and it's transitioning over to the game, to the play field, and we're doing a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, does beating the Steelers today make Christmas any sweeter for you?
It would, but I have a game on Christmas, so I got to stay locked in with this game. Probably after the victory, after the game Wednesday, I'll have an answer for you.
Yeah, you'll get a chance to celebrate then. It's been awesome watching you play this year. This is I thought I've seen it all with 2 MVPs already. You've already won, certainly being in the hunt again. Congratulations to you, your team, and hopefully we see you down the road, my man.
Appreciate you, GOAT. I appreciate you always.
Great seeing you. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Lamar.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to y'all.
Oh, man. I mean, see what I mean by wholesome? It's just, there's a special connection between the two of these guys. And for Tom to have, again, embraced Lamar from afar at first as a player, but then as the years went on, go out of his way to build him up, whether it's on social media or now as a member of the media. I just think it's telling, and I think it has everything to do with the way in which he views who Lamar is as a player and what he's overcome and what he's going to accomplish and the talent that he possesses. They're clearly different quarterbacks. One is prototypical, and the other couldn't be farther from prototypical, to the point where he's become a trailblazer. And so I've always enjoyed these interactions. I've always appreciated Tom's kindness. And then when lovable Lamar comes out, there's nothing better than that. Lovable Lamar is, I think, when he is at his most authentic self. He's fun. His voice pitch changes, right? He becomes like silly. I've always enjoyed that. A great interaction between the GOAT and somebody who's striving to do similar to what Tom did. Obviously, probably not going to get to that 7 number. Who the hell is? 7 freaking Super Bowls, 6 with Bill, one in Tampa. It's still just an insane statistic. Mahomes and that elusive three-peat is potentially on track for that. But a lot of teams going to have something to say about that, preventing that to happen, hopefully, in the postseason. Voldegard hits me with a super chat. Appreciate the love. $30 super chat. Thanks, man. Cheers to you, Bobby. You're always working, brother. Keep it up, my man. I appreciate it. I'll cheers to that for you. Maybe you got a glass out there as well. I got a little, I'm doing a little Bobby After Dark tonight to see what this is all about. Who knows? You never know where this stream will go after we get through the football content. You never know. Holly, Chris, and Teal are about to peel off. I can already tell. I know you guys, your eyes are getting heavy. I can tell by your chats. Don't do it. Bobby After Dark, a little teaser for later on. You're not going to want to miss it. Look, tonight was interesting because while the ultimate score is lopsided, early on, it kind of felt like there were shades of Week 11 written all over this thing. Ball security issues, a couple penalties early on, and they were struggling on third down. And you're thinking to yourself, here we go again. Pittsburgh's about to make it tough again. And there were a couple pass protection issues. Alex Highsmith beat Ronnie Stanley badly on what became the strip sack. Now, Ronnie fortunately recovered, as the Ravens did the other 2 times that they were stripped. Special teams obviously had some issues tonight. Desmond King, I think, needs to be looked at and evaluated in terms of whether or not they actually want him to be the punt return specialist. I know Tylan Wallace got yanked just a few weeks ago because of his ball security concerns. But if Keaton Mitchell is active on Wednesday, which I suspect that he will be, because I certainly question whether Justice Hill will have enough time to clear concussion protocol. That was a scary moment on a tough sideline. He battled the sideline hard, but the sideline won. The turf won, unfortunately. I hope Justice is okay. But assuming that he doesn't have enough time on a short week to be cleared, Keaton Mitchell will be ready to roll. I would love to see him get some run as a punt return specialist. If not him, who are you going to go with? Rasheen Ali? Desmond and Tylan don't seem as if they're the answer. The tough part is if Desmond can field these punts, that's the only issue. Seems like he's always getting positive yardage after fielding the football when he does field it. But he's had issues, and he's muffed a couple punts, as has Tylan. So they got to figure that out. But the fumble recovery side of things did not come back to bite the Ravens tonight. But again, there were 3 fumbles. It's just that all 3 were recovered. So they did a good job of responding to adversity. Clearly, the defense came to play. 2 game-changing plays, of course, courtesy of Ardarius Washington in the first half, Marlon Humphrey in the second half, his first ever pick 6. Could not have come in a more timely fashion. And for Ardarius at 5'8", $180, to make that play on Russell Wilson as Russ was going for the end zone, in the red zone, not crunch time, but in a key moment, that shifted things. And there's a certain type of undrafted pride and physicality that Ardarius plays with that to me is incredibly satisfying to watch. He embodies what it means to play like a Raven, to play with a certain tenacity. And he and Kyle Hamilton continue to be game-changing players for Zach Orr's defense. Another game changer on the other side of the ball is, of course, number 22. He goes 24 carries, 162 yards. Only 5 running backs in NFL history have more 150-yard games. The King came in 214 yards south of Saquon for the NFL lead. Saquon plays Philadelphia, I should say, plays the Washington Commanders as the wine starts to hit tomorrow. This thing just became a little bit more interesting. If Barkley has an average day, if the Commanders can hold him in check, these next couple weeks are going to be a lot of fun as these two duke it out for the NFL rushing title. And I, for one, am looking forward to that. So, Derek had the most explosive runs by a player in a game this season with 7. He ran between the tackles on a season-high 62.5% of his carries. He had 5 of his 7 explosive runs throughout that period. Again, 24 carries, 162 yards. He had open lanes all day long. I think you got to give this offensive line a lot of credit. There were a couple breakdowns. There was at least one penalty. I think Ronnie had one. Tyler Linderbaum had the other, if I'm not mistaken. A very clean game defensively. Marlon may have gotten away with a face mask at one point, I saw. But this was a clean game. This was a team that came in as the most penalized group, as we all know. They'd committed over 100 penalties and almost 1,000 yards negated as a result. Just 2 for 10 yards tonight. That's going to play. That's an impressive feat and a very encouraging sign for where the Ravens could potentially be headed. But for the King, make no mistake, it's December, and this is his time of year. His average per carry the last 4 years is what you see up on the screen. He's having a historic individual season. 5.9 yards per carry is the best of his decorated career. It was 4.3 in 21, 4.1 in 22, 4.2 last year. And again, it has skyrocketed to 5.9 yards per carry. He runs with a certain level of relentlessness and explosiveness that the Ravens have never had before. And my, oh my, was it fun to watch tonight. Just ask Patrick Queen how he feels. This courtesy of Baltimore Banner photographer. A little stiff arm for the win. Tom Brady talking about the Lamar-Derek duo. Quote, it's unbelievable that the 1-2 punch between those guys. Is Lamar going to pull it or is he going to give it? The zone read was exceptional tonight, I thought, from Lamar. Tom went on to say he gave it to Derek a lot tonight because Pittsburgh said, quote, it's not going to be Lamar that's carrying it all day. And that's exactly what Todd Monken did. And Lamar gave it to him. But Derek breaks off for 160. This dude doesn't look like he's slowing down. And how about this quote right here? He looks like he's got another 5 years in him. Tom Brady on Derrick Henry. A dude that played well into his later years. And Tom referring to somebody who maybe, just maybe, is on track to do that exact thing. Will Derrick Henry continue to play? Because he's looking spry. And it sure seems like he's feeling well-rested, comfortable, rejuvenated. And this is his time of year. I kind of feel like moving forward, tonight was a sign of the times. What does that mean? Well, they've been mindful with his usage all year long. They were missing this kind of talent, this kind of explosiveness a year ago. And now it's time. Now we go. Right? Now we go. And that's exactly what Zay Flowers has done this year. Congratulations to number 4. He hit the 1,000-yard receiving mark tonight. Finishes with a game-high 5 receptions for 100 yards receiving. He was targeted 8 times and averaged 20 per catch. This is his sophomore season. He continues to, he had a drop or two tonight, the first half, I believe. But he continues to play with a level of competitive spirit that appears to be infectious. And again, I hate to overuse this word because I've already mentioned it a couple times, but it is this relentlessness. He refuses to go down. His yak ability, and I don't mean to downplay Marquise Brown, but Zay and Marquise had similar measurables coming out of school. But the difference is Zay is willing to run through you, not by you. He can do both, but he's willing to run through you. And that, to me, continues to be just an impressive attribute that Zay Flowers' game possesses. And you want to know who loves what he's seeing? This guy. Rashod Bateman quote tweeted the graphic that I just had up on the screen that marked the 1,000-yard receiving threshold that Zay hit and was like easy money. It's small, it's subtle, but I think that goes a long way. And clearly, there's a confidence level right now. There's a security, a sense of security, self-security that Rashod knows who he is. He knows the seasons that he's having, which is a career best. 8 touchdowns, over 650 yards receiving. And at the time, it was Lamar's 36th touchdown pass, which ties his career high at the time. And then, of course, he finished with a new career high of 37, like I mentioned. And as Sarah tweeted here on the left-hand side of the graphic, it is notable that just a couple days ago, Rashod Bateman was seen in the locker room with a boot on. He went from walking around in a boot to scoring touchdowns on a beautiful toe drag in the left-hand side of the end zone. So a nice turn of events for Bate. Obviously, moving forward for him, health will be key. They got to get Nelson Aguilar back as somebody that can give them a couple targets here and there. But great to see Bate back on a week that I'm sure he was far from 100%. Crazy that the 18-16 final score in week 11 was a Steelers victory. The Ravens scored 17 in the first half. At the half, it was, let's see, what was it at the half? It was 17-10 at the half. Lamar overcoming that interception to Minka. It sure seemed to me like Rashod Bateman was trying to find a soft spot in the zone and stopped his route mid-route. And there was a clear communication issue there between he and Lamar. It goes down as Lamar's 4th interception. The other 3 were definitely not his fault, and maybe the 4th wasn't his fault either. We may never know. They're going to handle it properly through the media. Maybe if Rashod speaks this week, he'll talk about it more in detail. But an impressive performance nonetheless to bounce back from what was otherwise, a big game-changing play that, of course, Marlon Humphrey had something to say about. And I continue to be, that span of 4 plays was just remarkable. Derrick Henry busts out a 44-yard run. Lamar throws the interception to Minka. Najee Harris, 3-yard gain for Pittsburgh, and then Marlon Humphrey takes it to the house. Jumped the route on Russell for 6. The first pick 6 of his career. As we start to transition to the details of this defensive performance for the Ravens, but before we do, this episode is brought to you by my friends at Primary Residential Mortgage. Thank you to Primary for sponsoring Bobby Late Night, Bobby After Dark. And welcome into you guys, if you weren't already aware that this is Bobby After Dark. With the holiday season officially here, you guys might be looking for a way to access extra cash for gifts and celebrations. If that's the case, I got a solution for you. It's called Primary Residential Mortgage's Cash Out Refinance, which lets you tap into your home's equity to access the funds you need for your holiday shopping and festivities. On top of that, PRMI is going to cover your closing costs. This is a great incentive that's available to you as a Bobby Baltimore subscriber. They're going to cover your closing costs up to $750 on applications that are submitted by February 9th of 2025. The new year's right around the corner. February 9th of 2025 is as well. You can take advantage of this special offer by applying through the PRMI Mid-Atlantic website. Just mention my name as you go throughout your application process so you can get that thing redeemed. In order to start, go to the show notes, go to the live chat, and click on the link that's in the pinned comment. It'll take you to my specific landing page, my unique URL here, where you can fill out this form easily to get it started. And then the application process, bang, you click apply now. It brings you to a different screen, and then you are off and running. It's a super easy process. Michael, Zach, and everybody at Primary, including Nas, they got a great team over there in the Towson offices. I will tell you, you do not need to be in the Maryland area to qualify, and I would love for you to consider supporting Primary Residential Mortgage if you are interested in getting your home buying process started to kickstart the new year. If you're not, I would love for you to just simply click on that link, toggle through the website for 30 seconds. It goes a long way. I appreciate you guys in advance. Well, I mentioned the game-changing plays, and make no mistake about it, Ardarius Washington had one in the first half, and Marlon Humphrey had one in the second. But this play, the degree of difficulty, the accuracy, the timing, the anticipation from Ardarius Washington to lay the wood down on Russell Wilson was tremendous. Kyle Van Noy, great timeliness. Look what I found. Recovered the football. Ravens ball as the Steelers were looking to drive. And they were driving, and they were in the red zone. Number 29 continues to be a high-impact player. Former undrafted rookie out of TCU, has really found his own and, of course, helped settle things down on the back end with his running mate, Kyle Hamilton. As for Marlon Humphrey, I mentioned it a little while ago, a pick 6 for the new father. He and his significant other welcomed their son this week, so congratulations to the Humphreys. And man, did he celebrate accordingly. He leads the AFC now with 6 picks. It's the Ravens' first defensive touchdown of the season. And again, it is Marlon's first pick 6 of his career. He had 2 fumble return touchdowns in 2019. And of course, you all remember 2023. Look at Kyle in the background. I'm just noticing. He knew. He was loving it. Number 14 was loving it way back there, like 50 yards back. But remember, and of course, I lose my train of thought. And I gain it back in a second. Again, that's the wine. Contrary to popular belief, when you're live streaming drinking wine, it's not exactly something that goes hand in hand. But hey, Bobby After Dark is Bobby After Dark. I can't wait to open up the Q&A and piss those of you off in about 20, 30 minutes to drop off before then because you're getting tired. The Q&As might get out of hand. You never know. But for Marlon, last year, not only was it a down year statistically for him, but availability was an issue as well. So he is back playing like an all-pro. 6 interceptions have been crucial. He has been very versatile. He's had positional flexibility at times this year. And Marlon is all the way back. 44 is a difference maker out there. And that was certainly the case today. Elsewhere, is Kyle Van Noy fun to watch or what? Kyle's a 2-time Super Bowl champion with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. He played with a couple other teams. He's out on the street, or as he said, couch chilling last fall, waiting for his phone to ring. The Ravens are about to go to London, and a week or 2 prior, they called him in, gave him an opportunity, team-friendly deal, a prove-it kind of contract. Kyle just takes that and runs with it. 9 sacks, which was a career high or tied a career high last year. And what does he follow that up with this season? 10.5. For the first time in his decorated career, Kyle Van Noy hits the double-digit sack category. Look at Zach Orr greeting Justin Madubuike and KVN on the sideline. You got to love that. Any of you still want Zach out? It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time since a lot of that noise was running. I know Dean Pease has been a big part of this equation and turning things around, but you got to give Zach credit where it's due. I thought that the anticipation and the feel that he had tonight for certain blitz packages, particularly when he sent Kyle Hamilton a time or two, really was disrupting Russell Wilson. But the veteran, man, this has been fun. He's 33. This is his first double-digit sack category, as I mentioned. He's tallied 19.5 sacks in 28 games played as a Raven. It was he and Jadeveon Clowney last year, and it's been him and a number of other guys in a by-committee approach this year. And you better believe he's having a lot of fun. The Fox Sports cameraman had it easier than anybody tonight. Just follow around KVN. You'll get the best content as he shows the crowd. You're damn right. Put both hands up and make sure all fingers are up as well, because you got a double-digit piece, KVN. Well done. Love running into him in and around Baltimore. He's a great dude. A BYU standout, of course. You know Sarah loves him. I'm happy for him. You know what I was happier about, though? Tom Brady throwing all kinds of not-so-subtle shots. The quote, and what do I mean by shots? I'm talking about throwing some shade at Deontay Johnson, the no longer Raven, and Devondre Campbell, the currently suspended San Francisco 49er. So, when he set his new career high, Tom said this about KVN. And remember, he played through a fractured orbital bone at one point earlier in the season. And Tom, he didn't exactly mince words. Quote, he broke his eye socket earlier this season. He basically played with a broken face. And I see other guys in the league walking out on their teammates because they don't want to play. It's why he's a champion. That from Tom Brady, and you already know that is direct aim, taking direct aim at Deontay Johnson the recently waived Ravens wide receiver that we learned indeed was waived, was cut, is no longer a Baltimore Raven as of yesterday. And, of course, Devondre Campbell, the linebacker who refused to go into the game for the San Francisco 49ers a couple weeks back. Both players exhibiting a certain level of selfishness, a certain level of entitlement. And I, for one, love those comments from Tom. Sure, we don't know the full story in terms of Deontay's side. We may never will. He is expected to get claimed on waivers at some point early next week. We'll see if that ends up being Houston, who lost Tank Dell to a very serious kneecap injury. I hope he's doing all right. Prayers up for Tank Dell. Tremendously talented wide receiver for the Houston Texans, who the Ravens won't have to deal with on Wednesday, Christmas Day, because of the severity of that injury. But make no mistake about it, one team out there is going to think, you know what? Deontay would be a good fit for us. Just because it didn't work out in Pittsburgh and Carolina and Baltimore doesn't mean it won't work out here. Well, good luck. Good luck. The Ravens owed him nothing. I will continue to say that. They're too savvy of an organization to bring somebody in and make them promises, especially with a spotty track record like that. They knew there was risk involved. And because there was no and very little to no financial risk, I'm sure they were like, let's take a shot. Well, the shot didn't pay off. And if you're Deontay, you've left a lot on the table. Because Bateman was barely even involved tonight aside from his touchdown target. Nelson Aguilar was out tonight. Yes, Zay was a 100-yard receiver, but you could have gotten wide receiver 2 type workflow tonight. You could have gotten revenge against your former team. You could have put in tape out there to prove that you think, or prove yourself right, that you think you're worthy of another NFL contract. But instead, you refused to go in when your team needed you against the Philadelphia Eagles on December 1st. And that, to me, is cowardly. Special teams notes. Having been out at the pregame environment, it was clearly blustery conditions in Baltimore. The wind chill was no joke. And for Justin Tucker, who had not attempted a field goal try in a regular season game since December 1st, that Eagles game. Remember, the Giants, he didn't attempt the field goal. It was all PATs, and he hit all 5 of them. But for him to trot out there and drill a 51-yarder in these conditions, I thought that was really encouraging. I thought Jordan Stout's 14-yard shank was very discouraging, but I thought he backed it up nicely with a really nice punt under pressure later on in the game and a fantastic catch from an errant snap by Nick Moore and a really nice hold on that 51-yard attempt. So from a special teams perspective, again, clean penalties-wise, which is great. But Jordan had a tough punt. And again, that could be conditions related. And I thought Desmond King obviously had a tough night. Now, Tylan Wallace did make an incredible play as the gunner in the opening quarter to down it at the 3 and back Russ and the Steelers up in their own zone. Those are a few of my special teams notes. Nate Wiggins was on the wrong end of a 44-yard reception tonight. Calvin Austin and Russell Wilson connected. I thought that's just one of your tip your cap moments there. Wiggins had great position. Russ just made a better play, and Calvin Austin made an unbelievable mid-route adjustment to corral that thing. Ardarius and Marlon obviously deserve game balls. And I'm looking around for my notes. Did anybody see Trenton Simpson out there? I don't even know if he logged one snap tonight. Chris Board started. Malik Harrison was obviously in there. He had a tough coverage assignment on that Cordero Patterson touchdown where Russ just kind of floated it in there. That was a bad look for Malik. He struggled in coverage. You don't want him in that. That's a mismatch. I thought Justin Madubuike got a lot of interior push. Michael Pierce recorded a sack. The totals, numbers-wise, by the way, Roquan leads the way, 10 total tackles. That's a game high, 5 of which were solo. Kyle Hamilton, 8, 5 of which were solo and a pass deflection. Nnamdi Madubuike had a very productive game, 7, 4 of which were solo, a half sack, 2 tackles for loss, and a quarterback hit. KVN, 5 tackles, 2 of which were solo, sack and a half, tackle for loss, and 3 quarterback hits, and so on and so forth. I'm not seeing Trenton in here. I don't believe he got in the game. It was Malik Harrison and Chris Board, and Chris got the start, like I mentioned a second ago. Brandon Stevens, I believe he had a tackle for loss in there, 4 solo tackles and a tackle for loss. I know he was picked on at least once by Russell Wilson. PQ led the way for the Steelers, 8 tackles, 4 of which were solo and a pass deflection. But overall, this was a Ravens team that played disciplined football, outpossessed the Steelers, time of possession-wise, played a clean game. Again, just 2 penalties for 10 yards. Only 4 of 10 on third down, but they were just moving the ball with ease. They only had 10, again, only had 10 tries on third down. It's encouraging. It's encouraging, and obviously for the Steelers, the gauntlet still, they're in the middle of their gauntlet like the Ravens were in the first part of the season. Kansas City on Christmas Day for the Steelers at home, and then Cincinnati also at home. So this is going to get really interesting, and I think if the Ravens win out, got a pretty darn good shot of winning this division. I just don't see the Steelers winning out. I just don't over the next 2 games. All right, Bobby After Dark. We've gone almost 40 minutes, and the wine's starting to hit. Let's open up Q&A. You can either call in to ask me Q&A. It doesn't have to be football related. It can be anything. We're opening up Q&A. I'm just going to start ripping off and answering as many questions as possible. The guest line access is open. You can visit the show notes. You can visit the pinned comment live chat if you'd like to pop on. It's 11:43 Eastern. I can't remember the last time I was on alone this late. The guest line access, again, is being dropped into the live chat right now. And again, it's a pinned comment if you'd like. That's right, Tila. Wake up. Take a shot. Q&A. Nothing is off limits. Football, personal, anywhere in between. And of course, Chef TreZzz is the first to call in. Julian says, Tila, wake your ass up. Daddy Disc Golf says, is this the biggest win of Lamar's career so far? The biggest win of Lamar's career. Well, I think getting past the divisional round was certainly notable because of his track record in the postseason. I get that Houston wasn't the most lethal opponent last year, but a divisional round playoff win was important. And obviously getting to the AFC Championship was important, and losing in that fashion was gutting. Other than that, man, I remember a Sunday Night Football game back in the day, 2019, when they throttled Tom Brady and the Patriots. That felt like a big win at the time. He's had countless big wins. When they beat Kansas City and got the kryptonite off their back, God, the way they dismantled San Francisco on Christmas night last year, that locked up his second MVP. You can go back to the Jackson 5 when that was born on Monday night against the Rams. Joe Tessitore was calling that game for Monday Night Football. I mean, I'm just rattling off wins that come to mind. But this is up there. But it wasn't like a signature Lamar performance. So I don't know if I can call it like he got incredible efforts from his defense finally. Especially after he made a mistake, or Rashod made a mistake, however you want to coin that interception. So maybe a top 10 victory. I wouldn't put it top 5, though. I've already ripped off a few of those. Q&A is wide open, whether it's in the chat or whether it's in the waiting room. Samuel says, here's a question for you, Bobby. What's your favorite Lamar Jackson win then? When he flipped into the end zone, beat Kansas City, prime time in Baltimore. Just a bit outside wants to know any updates on my dating life. The latest updates on my dating life is that I'm active. Not sexually active, dating active. Obviously, last week I went on that DC date. I thought it went well, but then I found her to be very flaky afterwards, so I stopped answering. I have a date tomorrow that I'm excited about. I have a date New Year's Eve that I'm really excited about, but she lives in Syracuse, and I'm originally from Albany, as you guys know. So I guess the update is that there's just irons in the fire, but nobody's like out in front of the pack, if you will. It's not that it's a competition. I'm just trying to be relatively vague while also giving you as much information as possible. In terms of Madison, I really like her. There's a big age gap. She obviously is geographically inconvenient, as I am for her, since she lives in Nashville. But that's kind of the update. I'm on the apps. People are constantly hitting me up to set me up with somebody that they know, which is nice. But yeah, Bobby After Dark. Stealth wants to know if Keaton was active. He was not. Keaton has not been active for multiple weeks now. Clinton wants to know, will we be able to get anything in a trade with Marcus Williams in the offseason, or will he just end up being a cap casualty? The latter. And it's going to be a tough look for the Ravens. That'll go down as like one of the Earl Thomas disappointments when it comes to free agency signings. Yeah, Sam, the spin move on Cincy when Kevin Harlan was calling it, right? He is Houdini. That's all time. But I don't know if that's like my favorite win, because at the time, Burrow wasn't there. Zach Taylor had just started. It was like the Bengals were a joke at that point. Nishante, hopefully I'm not totally botching that. How about NJ? Score prediction for Wednesday. It's too early for that. I need to think about that and see what's going on with Houston, especially since they don't have Tank Dell. Good try, though. Chris wants to know, Bobby, would you say Torres is a liar or a person who doesn't tell the truth? Torres is a sellout. Just a bit outside wants clarification on the Swedish girl. Swedish girl? Was I talking to a Swedish girl? I mean, I met some girls in Sweden and Norway, but nothing that like stuck. One of them was off her ass trying to dance with me in some Norwegian club. That was disastrous. Torres, I love it. Torres times. We'll go to the guest lines in just a second. I want to make sure I get as many people that Chef's DMing me on top of being in the waiting room as if I don't see him. Gotta love that. That's how you don't get on the show. Plus, I always prioritize new callers like Kevin Malarkey, who's posted up in the waiting room right now, who I've never heard from, including the Chef 87. So I look forward to getting those guys while Julian and Chef wait their turn. How about that? As the wine hits. Kuya says, do you not dance well? Oh, bruh. I got receipts on what I dance. I don't even know if I have any access to it right now, but I should pull up some videos right now. Optimistic Avocado says, I'm living vicariously through Bobby with my 2 kids sleeping in bed right now. LOL. That's awesome. Hopefully the volume's not up too much. To the guest lines. What's going on, Kevin? Oh, I'm sorry.
Bobby, how are you?
I'm sorry. Kevin, it's funny. I couldn't see your face.
Yes.
And I thought you were a first-time caller, but you're not. You and I met at Michael's Cafe. Regardless, yes. Good to see you, brother. How are you?
I'm great. I'm well, Bobby. Thank you. How are you doing?
Great, man. Good to see you. What's going on?
Yeah, great to see you. This Steelers game was much better than our first matchup of the Steelers.
No question.
Yeah, this one was much better. And yeah, I mean, I think our offense played great, defense played great, special teams. I mean, my only 2 concerns was what really irks me was Lamar's interception, and not really so much the interception on Lamar. I mean, Henry had just broken off a huge run. We had 1st and 10 at about the 20-yard line. We were up 7. Like, And like it seemed like Henry had a lot of momentum. Like even if we go 3 and out there and run the ball, I think it was towards the end of the third quarter. Like worst case, we kick a field goal, we're up 10. And I mean the Steelers, they were down George Pickens today.
Yes.
So like that really scared me. Just like that, whether it was Monken or Harbaugh, but yeah, that play call.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, and a lot of people love the plaque in the background there, showing that sucker off.
Yes, yeah, I have that up here in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Oh, I was just about to compliment your accent too. I love when your Mass accent comes out because it is raging tonight, Kevin.
It's
and
raging.
By the way, I am happy here that I get to do what you were doing, right? When I couldn't on that Sunday 1:00 game, and you were doing your brunch at Michael's Cafe. I can't remember the game it was specifically.
Yeah, it was the Steelers, Ravens, Steelers.
Okay, so it was week 11, and now I'm getting you back here, brother. So good to see you. Merry Christmas, my man. I appreciate the call tonight.
And, thank you, Bobby. Oh, one more quick thing. If you remember, my prediction last time was 34-10 Ravens. And I predicted
first time around.
Yeah, and I predicted Henry would have 150 rushing yards. I think he had like 168. I predicted 2 Justin Tucker field goals. So maybe I was just off the wrong Ravens Steelers game.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you know what? Such is life when it comes to the prediction game, dude.
Yes.
Appreciate you, man. Have an awesome Christmas, all right?
Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you for having me on.
You too, man. Enjoy the Northeast. You know it's better than anything up there right now. I would love to be up there, and I'm going to be there coming up the day after Christmas. So enjoy it, and I'll catch up with you soon, man.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Bobby.
All right, Kevin. Yep, absolutely. Peter thinks, do you think we'll win the division? So what I'm contemplating right now is, Peter, whether or not I'm going to go back on what I said going into the bye or coming out of the bye, and that was, can they rip off 4 straight wins to finish the season? And obviously entering the bye, there was a sour taste in everyone's mouth because of the Philadelphia performance. And at the time I said 3-1. I'm going to ponder things over the next 24 hours and think about whether or not I'm going to go back on that statement, because they're playing right now as if they're absolutely capable of steamrolling Houston at their place, especially given Tank Dell's injury. And then obviously wiping the floor with Cleveland in the regular season finale at home. Originally, I circled Houston as the game that they're going to drop because of the turnaround, but everybody has this turnaround, including Houston, including Pittsburgh, including Kansas City. So I'm leaning towards going 4-0, but I need to think about it first, and I'm obviously not going to make that decision right now. Sam says, I'm from Hamden, Bobby. You were saying you was going to get your hair cut at somebody's barbershop or something. Where were you going to? 2 Bits Barbershop. 2 Bits with my guy Bubba. Or excuse me, Bubs. I've been going there since my radio days. I really enjoy it. It's right around the corner from WBAL, so it just made sense. Clinton wants to know what my plans are for Christmas. I haven't decided on pregame yet, but in terms of where I'm going to be, my mother's not very pleased with this, but she's having all of her side of the family to our house. And as you guys know, when I'm home in Albany, I take over the basement. It's a relatively small house, at least it is for when 20 people are there. And so she needs every single room. And I was just like, I'm not going to go randomly find like a hotel room or something to do Christmas Day content. So I'm staying here. My dad's flying in on Monday or Tuesday, and then he and I are driving back the next day. Those are my plans. Hope you have good plans, Clinton. Appreciate you, brother. Back to the guest lines. Again, after dark, personal questions, football questions, everything's on the table. What up, Chef? Good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up, Bobby? How you doing, brother?
How you doing? Was I correct? You first timer or no?
Oh, first time, but I met you at Michael's Cafe. It was during the Cowboys game. Took my picture to help you bring your equipment back to the car with one of your guys from PMRI or something like that.
Hell yeah.
So
thanks, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to come on real quick. I'm tired. I went to the game. I'm a season ticket holder. I was in the Purge, so I'm tired. It was cold, but it was worth it just to get that win. So
hell yeah. The wind chill was no joke tonight.
Nah, it was cold. My hands were freezing, didn't have gloves, so you could kind of feel it after a while. Yeah. But
Dude, I ran into somebody, and he actually came on my pregame show. He had a Steelers jersey on. Everybody was pissed at me for doing it, but he's a friend of mine, so I had him on my pregame show. He literally had a jersey on and a long sleeve shirt underneath it with no gloves.
Yeah, that's insane.
And I like kept offering them. Everybody was like giving me shots after shots after shots, but I wasn't taking them. I mean, it's a working day.
Yeah.
It's a working day. But then finally I was like, dude, you need to take all these. So I was literally just like shoving shots and drinks in his face. And then Asmodeus came over too, Richard Asmodeus. And I was just like totally filling him up with shots and cookies and all kinds of stuff. So
okay.
It's hysterical.
That's what's up. Hey, Bobby, I got it. We always joke with you in the chat. I got a new name for you. So you're Bobby Bachelor, you know what I mean? So that's what we're going to call you for right now, especially after dark, Bobby after dark. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I've heard that one before. I'm trying to. I feel like I'm working my tail off to make sure that Bobby Bachelor isn't a thing. Just like I'm ready to kind of kickstart my life and whatnot. But
it's all good.
At the same time, no rush, right? No rush.
I'm right there with you, man. It's hard out here. Trust and believe me.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, you know how it goes. Baltimore dating scene's tough. Like I'm not trying to date somebody that has a past with somebody I go to the gym with. Like that's a hard no for me.
It's rough out here, man. Trust me, but it'll happen in its time, God's timing. But hey, man, I gotta holler at you. Probably message you on Twitter because I want to go about it the right way. I'm going to the Browns game, but I'm bringing my little cousin with me. We want to do the Be More Around Town tailgate with you, so we just want to have them meet you and stuff like that. But just do it the right way. It's the last home game, so just want to come out and support you and all that stuff too. And I'll leave you with this before you get off the line, man. You're a big inspiration to me. I'm trying to start my own thing, step out on faith. I'm trying to start a food truck. So you and Sarah like help motivate me try to do that stuff. So
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's those types of comments, they just hit different because like I don't think you can ever truly articulate the way you stick your neck out there and take a shot when you go out on your own, Yeah. And it's like, to me, there's nothing that's been more fulfilling in my life outside of family relationships than that decision that was essentially made for me when WBAL and 98 Rock showed me the door.
Yeah.
And it reignited a flame that I always knew was burning inside of me when it comes to the entrepreneurial spirit that I've always had.
Yeah.
But it's scary as shit, right? It's frightening. It's insecure. It's uncertain. You don't know how to describe it to people. When I go on a date, they say, "So what do you do?" And I'm like, what the fuck do I say, right? Am I a content creator? Am I a broadcaster? Am I a producer? Am I an entrepreneur? Am I a sales rep? I'm everything. I do everything. I wear 15 hats.
Yeah.
And so I continue to believe that it's the best decision that was ever made for me.
Yeah.
And the right person will understand and respect that type of leap of faith. And so that fires me up for you, man. I'll be rooting for you.
No, man, it's just something I've been contemplating. I work at a local Baltimore area hospital, like maybe 10, 15 minutes from the stadium. It's 2 hospitals on Green Street. I'll just leave it at that. But it's just something I've been wanting to do is like start my own business. I got the talent, but it's just like that scariness. But you're like, man, I just want to make more money. And I want to stop, stop sleeping on myself and just do this damn thing. So yeah.
Hey, please reach out for me. Reach out to me for 2 reasons. 1, to try and set that Be More up, and then
okay.
And then 2, just for inspiration, because that's exciting to hear, man. I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah, man. I just want to share that. Just be honest with you, man. I love what you do, and keep it going, man. I'm always rooting for you, and same with Taurus and all of us. We got love for you, brother. So
we ain't rooting for Taurus though.
And Tila and all them people, they're cool. I just want to come over and show my face instead of being in the chat all the time. But man, I'll leave you with this. Be safe on those roads going up north, back home, and be safe coming back, man. So we need you on these daily stuff with Sarah. So we love it.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. And you're right. There's a cool community in here. And a great way to kind of like that I've been more focused on participating in consistently is the Discord. I feel like there's a lot of people that hang out in the chat that have started to kind of migrate over to Discord. So
I got to get on that.
Yeah, for those of you who are interested, you guys can. I'll just quickly pull it up because I know a lot of people have been asking me, but they don't know how to do it. I'm like, No, it's super simple. All you got to do is go down to the show notes and literally, like, I mean, look at this. All night long, Holly's counting down the time until I'm live. Teal is somehow trying to stay awake at 10:54. That was over an hour ago. But like all night long, there's just content and content and content. A lot of the names that you see in the chat are over here in Discord. So what I'll do right now is I'll just take this link and I'll drop it into the chat. And if you guys want to join the Discord for free, you can do so. But Chef, appreciate you, man. Merry Christmas.
Hey, man, Merry Christmas to you too, man. Got love for you. And I love when you have Femi and everybody on. Kadri is so dope. I love y'all. It's great. I love when you guys like break it down. It's not like overbearing. It's real journalism. That's why I love y'all. So
thanks, dude. Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Hey, man, have a good night. All right, peace,
Catch up
bro.
with you soon. Yep, absolutely. Well, Chef and Julian, it's going to be a tough one to follow. It's going to be a tough one to follow. You up for the challenge, big dog?
No, Bobby. I just came in on the rant.
You ain't
But
that
hey,
wholesome.
shout out,
You ain't that wholesome.
hey, shout out to the other chef, man. Because you really doing it. This is just a childhood nickname for me.
I love it. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Great win.
You had, if I recall, you had a comfortable margin of victory, did you not?
Yeah, I said 31. I said 31-10. It came out 34-17, but
Good
still
stuff.
close enough. I also did say Derrick Henry was going to put Patrick Queen to the earth.
You did.
I don't know
You
if that
did.
really came into
Your
fruition.
neck out on that one, though. You ain't sticking your neck out on that one. Come on. The whole fan base was sticking their neck out on that one.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
but you know what I want to ask you? Not to interject, and the floor is yours in a second. But I want to ask you something real quick. Was Devontae Walker a factor tonight?
See, that's what I wanted to get into. Bob, and well, two things.
David,
First thing I want to say with the
David,
Lamar.
David, was Devontae Walker a factor tonight?
Okay, Bobby Troll coming out.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Man, but for the Lamar interception, yes, there was miscommunication, but I think it was also for Rashod Bateman. I think it was built into the route. Because he wasn't running, or at least it didn't look like he wasn't running a slant. He was running a drag. However, depending on the coverage that they had, he could either stop in the middle and just take easy yards and just keep it in a manageable situation. I mean, it was first down. So, I mean, keep it in a manageable situation or keep running that drag. I think that's where the miscommunication came from, where Lamar wanted Bateman to keep running. Bateman was just like, I got in between the linebackers. I could just catch it and sit down. But I think that's where that came from. I mean, it's neither here nor there. But, when you still have those three turnovers or three possible turnovers in one game, Lamar fumbled or strip sack fumbled really on Ronnie Stanley, interception, and then Desmond King fumble. Any other team, any other playoff team, I think they'd make you pay for it.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And what's funny about it, you just said any other playoff team. Pittsburgh's not playing like a playoff team right now.
I'm glad. I mean, again, I work with a Steelers fan, and he's like, "Yeah, man, this is our year." Meanwhile, in the back of my head, I'm like, "Y'all about to be one and done in the playoffs again." But
straight up,
it is what it is. But the big thing that I wanted to get to, Devontae Walker. Obviously, I was pushing for him real hard yesterday. He ain't logged one snap. But I still,
he might have been there special teams.
Man, yeah, but he didn't log any offensive snaps, which I feel like is still. I still feel like that is a flaw with the Ravens in developing wide receivers, because eventually you're gonna use them. Same thing with Keaton Mitchell. I feel like, unfortunately, with Justice Hill going down, if you had worked Keaton Mitchell somewhat into the playbook and had him active this game, you know, things still went smoothly. However, you wouldn't have to worry about like, okay, well, Rasheen Ali's gonna be in there, but we're really using him as a special teamer. versus Keaton Mitchell, who's 2 years into the system. So I just feel like, just the way they kind of balance the roster and everything, and who's active, who's a special teamer, who's inactive. I feel like they kind of drop the ball a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, there's no way justice is going to be cleared. That was scary.
That was bad.
That was
That was
scary as
bad.
shit. It happened right in front of the sideline. He didn't win the war with the turf. Who does? Hell of a 25-yard gain.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he's going to be cleared. If that's the case, clearly Keaton's going to be up. It'll be Derek, Keaton, and Rasheen. Maybe Keaton gets an opportunity to be a return specialist for them, or maybe that's Rasheen, and whoever is not gets the more snaps at running back.
I would be fine with it being Rasheen and Desmond King back there on kick return.
Well, Desmond showed pop.
Or
He's showed pop. He just can't field the damn ball consistently.
put him with the running back drills and make sure that he's holding on to the ball.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, he has a sense for, like the ball vision and everything when he has the ball in his hand and he's seeing the lanes and everything. He's juking guys. Because honestly, if that other guy didn't grab him and kind of like get the ball out, it was just him and the punter. And he had a block. He had like 2 blockers in front of him. That would have been a punt return touchdown, which we haven't had this season.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So,
Lamar might have gone for 6 had Isaiah Likely not missed that block tonight.
Yeah. Again, just still miscues. But it is what it is. It's still a good win. Last thing that I want to get into, heading over to my my Giants buddies, my best friend Aldo, the Giants fan, heading over to his house tomorrow. Or I guess later today. Bobby, he's gonna be talking about Daniel Jones, and I just gotta get this out now. I'm glad the Ravens didn't get Daniel Jones. He ain't worth it. He ain't worth it, Bob. But I know you looking at the ceiling right now. You're like, why is Chef saying that he ain't worth it?
You're making me want
Bobby?
to chug the rest of this bottle right now.
Go for it, Bobby. Go for it. That's how all of the New York Giants fan base feel about Daniel Jones. Listen, as much as I am a hater of Daniel Jones, I understand from a front office standpoint, you would get a comp pick. But my biggest gripe with possibly bringing in Daniel Jones for the Ravens is that if you were truly serious about getting a backup for Lamar Jackson in case he were to go down, you would have brought in like Ryan Tannehill, some other quarterback that could run the system. To grab someone who's been in a dysfunctional system for his entire football career and then expect him to be a more viable backup, it's not realistic, especially with it being Josh Johnson. Yes, he would be an improvement, but that's not saying much because Josh Johnson is 38 years old. No shade to him, but he's 38 years old. He's a career journeyman. I mean, he's not a needle mover. So
I love how you found a way to bring this shit up.
I can't help it, Bobby. I just can't stand that guy, man.
You found a way to bring this shit up, man.
It's just the way he processes, like he goes through his reads and then he just bails, gets tripped up by the turf monster.
Well,
that happens to every player, but yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I look forward. All right. I look forward to when Daniel Jones goes on a similar Sam Darnold tour next year for a to-be-determined team. It's going to happen. I got to get Jewel in here.
But
get some sleep, please. I got to get Jewel in here.
You're
going to keep talking about Daniel Jones. Why are we talking about Daniel Jones? Bobby After Dark. And you think that Bobby After Dark can turn into Daniel Jones talk? What the hell is this?
Listen, Bobby.
Julian's drinking down there, and guess what? I feel like going down and drinking gasoline right now because you just brought in Daniel Jones post midnight, knowing that he's in Minnesota.
That's how Daniel Jones makes you feel.
I'm going to go chug ketchup or some shit downstairs because you wanted Daniel Jones to get involved in Bobby After Dark at 12:10 a.m. Eastern 2 days before. I was gonna curse, but you can't. You can't do.
thank you for letting me on, Bobby.
You can't say Christmas and curse in the same sentence. So there you go.
Hey, thank you for letting me on. Big supporter and everything. I've been listening to you and Sarah since back when you guys were doing the 15-20 minute
Yeah.
pre-scripted everything. So yeah,
Oh, you
big
already know.
fan.
You already know Sarah. Like that was her baby. Like she loved that thing, and I
Yeah.
was like, and I'm not saying anything that's like secretive or whatever, but like, you know me, I was like, I hate this shit. This
But I
15
mean,
minutes, like 15 minutes. We need to give people more, you
I
know?
mean, you guys are hitting it, but then you guys would get to the quick hits, but you guys would only get like half of it, and then save the rest of the quick hits for the next day. But I was always a fan of it because I was like, when I had to get up at like 5 in the morning, the episode would be out at 6. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
listening to it on the way to work.
Oh
It
yeah.
was great.
You already
But
know,
all
like
right,
the change to noon that will be coming up on a year in March has been incredible. Like our lifestyles are just so much better. So,
yeah,
but
but all
hey,
right,
enjoy your weekend, brother. Enjoy football tomorrow.
all right. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.
Catch up with you. Yeah, you too. We'll be talking Christmas Day. Who you kidding? Mr. Booze. Mr. Booze. What you got a little fruity drink there? What are you doing over there?
It's something I was saving for a while. It was a little bit left in there, some wine that I got
What
from
you
my
doing,
truck.
big dog? I've never seen a wine that looks like that. Show us the drink.
It's different.
Wait
It's
a
really
second.
different.
Let's do this. Show us that booze. Look at this guy.
Yeah, you thought I was playing today. I wasn't playing
Look at
shit.
Taurus. Look at
Shit. What? I told them in the chat that I was doing that shit, man, and they didn't believe me. They saw something was wrong with me and shit. So
I mean, it's
yeah.
fruity. Hey, are you finally gonna invite your sister on tonight? I mean, I got some wine in me. Let's do this.
She is gone right now.
Let's
Y'all be
get the
catching
whole
her at a
crew in
bad
here.
time. She'll probably be here tomorrow or something like that. I don't know. She be in and out all the time. So
Unreal.
I
What
was going to put
flavor
her
is
on
that?
earlier, but she just said no. She's like, I don't look right. I was like, okay, like they're going to put you on eventually.
What
So
flavor is that shit? Tila wants to know.
it's a little bit of cherry, strawberry, some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh,
I can't
God.
wait till.
Shit's like Robitussin. What are you doing?
It's like it's some French wine and some shit that I got from my job.
Are you sure it's
Some,
not Robitussin in a bottle?
hell no. Fuck no. Don't drink that shit. That's just how it looks. Mm.
Holly, I thought you said
Shit
you were
good.
going to be asleep multiple hours ago, Holly. What are we doing here?
Mm.
She said everybody was all upset with me pre 11 o'clock, and then I came out at 11:05. Everybody's saying they were going downhill fast.
Hey,
Everybody's still here.
people suckers, man. I'm telling you. Anyway, so Bobby, I was at the game, cold as shit. I was sitting in the 500 section, like with the wind just whipping, fucking me up and all that shit. I'm like, God damn. Like I don't know how I was gonna survive. I was like, all right, but this ain't cold like it was last year with the Texas playoff game. So I was like, all right, this ain't shit. So I toughed it out like I usually do when I go to these games. Gotta say, first and foremost, I want to start off by saying, from now on, we're not going to be calling Patrick Queen by his name anymore. He's not going to be mentioned by his name. His name is number 6 from now on. Fuck him. Anyway, that's the
Oh,
type of
you
time. That's
can't.
the type of time I'm on right now.
This guy
So
came in hot tonight. Let me get the picture while you're at it, though, just in case people were living under a rock tonight. Why you want to call him that?
I'm just saying, man. He wanted to be the villain. Then he said, "Oh, don't lay off me. Don't do that. I don't. Why y'all coming at me like that? Like, pick a side, bro. What the fuck is you doing? Like, get the fuck out of here. You want to be a villain? You want to be the villain? You want people to call you out? You don't want people to call you out? You want to block people? Then you don't want to block people? What the fuck is you doing? Like, come on. You act like Roquan blocking people on Twitter and shit.
Oh, hey, you already know that. I still can't believe that, man.
I
Oh,
told
man.
people that Roquan blocked you because you said a couple. I think it was like months ago that Roquan blocked you for some reason.
I called him slow. Yeah, I called him slow.
Sloquan. I'm like, what the hell, man?
I
What
can't
is
believe
Roquan
that.
doing?
I was pretty upset about that. Well, so it wasn't a blocking. He unfollowed me on Instagram.
Oh, well,
So
that. I'm just saying, like, come on, Roquan. Come on.
that
Have tough
was
skin.
that's
Ray
too
Lewis
bad.
would never. Ray
That's
Lewis would never.
that's too bad too, because Roe, we have a great we had or have a great relationship with Roe, and if he took something that I said personally, it's too bad. It's too bad. I obviously I have a job to do. Sarah and I have a job to do, and I'm sure it was related to probably his frustrations with how much he had on his plate when Trenton
Mhm.
Simpson was his running mate, and clearly we've seen. Not only with Kyle and Ardarius going to the back end, but also Malik and Chris rotating inside. That has
Mhm.
freed him up, and he's now obviously playing like the old Roquan. But that was not the case earlier in the year, and we had to call that as we saw it. Now whether or not we were fair, I think we were fair. We always said things like, "Hey, there's a lot going on around him,"
Mhm.
and he clearly was doing a lot. And I think
Yeah.
Sarah mentioned something on the post-game show that he told Aaron Andrews. He kind of
Mhm.
alluded to something. So I must have not caught that in game. Did anybody catch that in game? What he told Aaron Andrews, and then she reported about it in game. Were you
I don't. I don't
listening to
believe.
that?
I don't believe I caught that.
I didn't
If it.
either. But Sarah, just to paraphrase, just to sum it up, it was apparently like I was doing a lot prior to the defensive adjustments. Like he was almost trying to over communicate. And I must have just missed that. But I need to go back and listen to that because I need to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll probably see it on the internet or something like that. I don't know. Somebody probably will repost it on the internet on one of the insiders. But anyway,
Everybody thinks you're drinking Kool-Aid.
of course they're gonna say some shit like that.
Here's the
This is what
problem.
I'm drinking. This shit right here. This is a new
Hold on a second.
one.
Show us that. Show us that sucker.
Oh, hold on. Shit. That shit right there.
French Fusion,
This is new.
France. Is that a red wine?
Yeah, it's red.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Admittedly, I know absolutely nothing about that bottle, but hey, take it to
Yeah,
the
that's
chin.
that's for my job. That I work at a wine company, so I get those
Okay.
almost
Okay.
every other
All
week.
right.
So I'm gonna probably open that one.
I'll be waiting on my case. All right.
I might slide you one. Might slide you one. Be nice and I'll slide you one. Something.
Oh man.
Shit.
Hey, give me your closing word. I'm gonna get back to the waiting room.
All right, now in closing is this. I'm gonna say it again. Fuck Patrick. Oh, number 6. My bad. And this is a good win. Also, this is a good win for the Ravens. I'll say that they could get on a run. This can spark something when they get into the playoffs, and I'm ready for the ride. Get ready.
Yeah, it's coming up. We're about to. Oh shit.
Something's about to happen with this team, so let's get ready for it.
Oh no, red wine just came out of my mouth and onto my
Oh,
shirt. Hold on a second here.
oh, damn, Bobby.
Hold on a
Don't tell
second
me
here.
this shit.
I gotta get real. Hold on.
Damn.
Oh no. It's like it looks like Jello. Why does it look like Jello? Hold on a second.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Oh
no.
boy.
Hold on a second.
Did you get it up?
Why is it literally Jello? It's so weird. I'm not even eating anything.
Probably spilled it there by accident. Didn't even realize it.
Gosh darn it.
Mm.
Everybody hates this shirt anyway, so I'm sure everybody's laughing at home and loving it.
Now they got a reason to say get rid of it.
God damn. Ah, fuck it. All right, brother. Hey,
All right,
enjoy
Bobby. I'll
yourself.
see you on the next live stream, buddy.
All right, man. Talk to you.
All right.
I got to tell you, I have not eaten much, and this red wine is hitting. And that's when Clint's about to come on right now and revive me. Clint, get in here, Clint. Help out, brother. I need you to take over the show, my man.
I got you for a minute. All right. Worst case scenario could be like last night. Just go pee real quick and then come back. All right.
Yeah,
like
I should have just gotten up and pissed, man. I had to go. My bladder was barking at me.
I understand that. That's probably why that red wine's hitting tonight. It's like, no, you're already backed up already. We're coming after you no matter what.
Oh, it's hitting. Yeah, it's like whenever I'm out and because game days are just it's just a
Long.
runaround. You know, you got to get down to the tailgate. You got to get down and set up and then race across town. You're not cooking. You know, I got a gym. I sat in the sauna for probably too long today. So you got a little bit of both right now. And so the cab hits a little bit stronger, Clint. But how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I am good. I've actually got a cat in my lap right now, and I am chilling out with my
fish?
turtle.
Oh, there's a fish. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Fish
turtle.
and turtle. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's also a crawdad in there, but yes. Yeah.
Nice.
They're hanging out in there. It's nighttime, so that's why the blue lights. So
nice. You're down in Oklahoma, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
But yeah, we were just chilling out. We got to enjoy the game. So that was pretty nice to actually, you know, we get to see. I think we've actually only missed one game this year because there's a lot of Oklahoma players that are on the Ravens that, you know, people in Oklahoma enjoy our football quite a bit, and we don't have a pro team, so a lot of people love to watch Ravens. So like every shop I go to, there's always some fans that are like, oh yeah, because I'm always wearing my hat, wearing my stuff, you know, drinking my iced tea out of my Ravens cup, you know.
Hell yeah.
So,
You're in Mark Andrews' old stomping grounds down there.
man, well, Justice Hill, Tylan Wallace, man, you bring up we used to also have quite a few like Ben Powers, those kind of, like, we had a bunch of linemen that come through because, you know, we produce a bunch of big boys out here.
Oh yeah. Right. Whether it's Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, like there's a lot of former Ravens that have come through there.
Yep. Yeah, and little known fact, Oklahoma State has the most national championships out of a program because of wrestling. They have like 70 some odd wrestling titles because, you know, if you're not throwing around because Oklahoma State used to be Oklahoma A&M, so so they used to be those, you know, cowpoke kind of boys. So they were out there tossing them cows around, and I can toss a person too, floop.
Yes.
So yeah, we like to, and you know, we got nothing better to do but a bunch of field, so might as well. So,
but no, we called in, dude. I'm sure you had a chance to watch the game and whatnot. What was your big takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is this team has the DNA to make it to the Super Bowl and win it. My biggest worry is they lack consistency. And it was a great step playing the Steelers this week and showing that, like, all right, we kind of can get that bully ball, rushing for almost 200 yards, you know, being able to go downhill with that, let that fuel the offense. Lamar is a special quarterback. No one can take that away from him. But this offense runs so smoothly when you give I think Derrick Henry had 10 rushes by midway through the second quarter. Oh, yeah. And by that point, like, the game was, once they got that momentum flip from the interception, like, the game was put away entirely. Oh, somebody's being spoiled because she's not getting all the attention.
Oh, look at this! Look at this action! I love it.
Yeah.
As soon as he's like, "Dad's on live," I got to make sure I'm featured here. Yeah,
of course.
I think that we're on the precipice of this is about to be showtime for number 22. Yeah. And that's exactly why they brought him in. So.
Yeah, this is that cold weather where you're running downhill, and he doesn't seem to mind the punishment, and that's what we're paying him for. Yeah. Like, let's do it. Like, it seems like they are a match made in heaven, the Ravens and Derrick Henry. I'm just only sad that we didn't get him straight out of college.
And if they handle this correctly, right? If they handle this correctly over the next month or so, all the misusage in season will be a long afterthought. I mean, look at this. He ran between the tackles on a season high 62.5% of his carries. He had 5 of his 7 explosive runs when doing so. 24 carries, 162 yards. He came in 214 yards shy of Saquon for the league lead. So it's about to get interesting. If Washington can keep Saquon in check tomorrow, which I don't know how confident I am about that, but if for whatever reason they can, that is a talented defensive front. I know, yeah, it's a big we'll see, but they have a very talented defensive front. And I wonder if they can, if these next couple of weeks is going to be a really compelling competition between Saquon and Derrick for the NFL rushing title.
Oh, I'm down for it. I honestly think they're going to hit the point with Saquon and the Eagles that offensive line is already just about, like, the Philly offensive line is always going to be good. So it doesn't really matter who's behind there, but when you have a generational guy like Saquon, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's also going to be a point that I have that feeling that so many other guys in, big, talking head media says, like, that's, superstitious funk that just seems to be that hasn't gone away from Philly in my mind. And they beat us, but watching that game, I was like, that could have gone the other way very quickly. Tip of a hat the other way. That would have, they won the game, but we also threw that one away. And I don't see Philly as being one of those teams coming down the end of it that is going to be able to do very much. Like,
100%.
So, especially once these games start mattering, coaching is going to matter so much, decision making, that kind of thing. And their head coach is just, Sirianni's just a joke. Like, I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm a fan. So,
last thing from me, because the chat is really wondering. They're putting these labels out there on you right now. There's a lot of belief in the chat right now that there is a belief that you are a smoker down there.
yeah,
and if that's the case, could you be up in the clouds as we currently speak?
I stay that way so I don't have to ever, change the way. It's a permanent status. I have my card here in Oklahoma. It is legal. We don't, we went, cool. You have a problem. You have anxiety. You have whatever. Here's your doctor's note. Boom. Ready to rock and roll. Yeah, on the way home from work, I had to make a stop before watching this game. Okay, so I can watch it. I'm even keel. I'm watching the action, man. I can sit there and not overreact. So unless it's a touchdown, I'm kind of chill because I got littles at home and everything. So whenever I'm waiting for them to react because I want to see their reaction. But like, yes, 100%, the chat is correct. I have no problem saying that.
Okay, so just to in review, upon further review, I do believe I have you quoted for saying, okay, all right, here we go. Now it's all starting to match up here. But just to be clear, you say I stay that way so I don't have to change to get that way. Is that correct? Is that a direct quote?
That is correct. It's a morning to night, and obviously at the end of the night, it's a go home to bed sort of mixture of things. So yeah. Well, I'm relaxing at the moment.
Well, I'll leave you with this. I was going to say, get yourself right before the night closes. I believe you're an hour behind us, correct?
Correct. That is correct, sir.
But that does not stand because you've already gotten yourself right. So Merry Christmas to that. Clint, appreciate you, my man. You never miss an episode, seemingly, by the live chat. And I hope you have an awesome Christmas and everything. We'll catch up soon.
To salute. Merry Christmas to you guys as well at the vault. Thanks, guys.
Talk to you, dude. Appreciate it. That is awesome right there. I absolutely love that. Oh, man. You guys are great. That is absolutely classic. If you have any Q&As, I'm kind of coming up on that wall. It's crazy. We almost have 900 concurrents in here right now between Twitter and YouTube. So that's something else. But hit me with your and copy and paste if you haven't already done it, because there's a lot of comments that have come in. Copy and paste your Q&As so I can get a few in before we finish up. If they're really pressing, get them in. I'll try and get them. If not, we can shut it down. Tila says, Julian, can I walk in and buy wine where you are? We'd love to know. Sam says, hey, Bobby, I got another question for you. Ask all the ladies who's their favorite show host out of you and Sarah. You already know I'm not winning that battle. Sam, don't even put me in that situation. You already know. Rick was one of the many that wanted to know what Clint's smoking in Oklahoma. Everybody's highly, highly interested in what's going on with Clint. Donovan wants to know, do we have any concerns with injuries going into Wednesday's game against Houston other than Hill? Just want to know how Bateman's doing on a short week and if he's going to be limited at all. Other than that, maybe Tre'Davious White, but they're in great shape. I mean, really, really good shape injury-wise, for sure. I'm just scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss any of these, but maybe some of you guys are hitting hitting the after dark right now. Greatness wants to know what happens with the running back room now. Keaton will be active if Justice can't go on Wednesday, and that means it'll be Derek, Keaton, and Rasheen. The live is starting to hit. It's also 12:30 in the morning. This is when it starts to go downhill fast. D Banks wants to know, are you a fan now, Bob? You already know that the answer to that. Chef wants to know, when's the Vault gift exchange? We haven't talked about it since you brought it up the first time. Julian wants to know, how do you see the Texans game playing out? I need 24 hours on that. I said a minute ago, I'm really thinking about going away from what I had predicted coming out of the bye, which was 3-1, and potentially going for 4-0 because they're playing like a team that is going to destroy the Texans that are down Tank Dell on Christmas Day, but I haven't gotten there yet, and I need a little bit of time. What's your grade for fa la 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 tonight? I thought he was moving bodies. Got to go back and watch the tape, all 22, but Daniel moves bodies. What I say, Junior says, Bobby, you get high, dog? Only a few times in my life. Only a few times. I'm more of a cigar guy. What did I do one time? I dropped the gate one time. I don't even know what that is, but I dropped the gate one time with my boys, and they're all potheads from home, Albany, and I literally remember we had just finished up like a 16-hour catering shift, and I was like a sophomore or junior in college, and we had spent the whole day in a rich town in Connecticut and then bust back to Albany through this catering company, and that's when we dropped this gate, right? And all I remember was my best friend's backyard spinning. It was like 3 a.m. Place is just spinning. The moon is spinning. Yeah, never again. I'll do cigars. It's going to be cigar for me. Let's see what else you guys got for me. Taurus wants to know why we're asking about voices. You already know. Greg, what's up, Greg? Greg, don't judge me. You got us by 3 hours. You're on that West Coast time. It's late over here, and I got wine in me. But Greg says, do you think Mahomes will sit out the Steelers games? They're 14-1. What are the Bills right now? What are the Bills' record? They're still in the race for, right? Let's see. Bills are 11-3. Chiefs 14-1. Bills have 3 more games left, right? No, I don't think he's going to sit out. Bills are still in it for the 1 seed. Holly, not a question, but barely hanging on with one eye open for the stream. Holly, hang on. We're coming up on an hour and a half. D-Banks, Taurus, you live? Come on. Where you at, Taurus? Chef wants to know if it's Bobby risque. Only if you're lucky, Chef. Clinton says, could anyone imagine trying to have to get up and practice tomorrow after a game like that today? Do they practice tomorrow? Media availability is tomorrow. Sarah just forwarded me something from the Ravens. Tomorrow's media available. Oh, shit, they do have practice tomorrow. I stand corrected. Harbaugh hits the podium at 5:30. Open locker room as well. Shit. I got a 5 o'clock date tomorrow. That's ridiculous. By the way, I'm excited about this date tomorrow, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not telling you about it though, because I feel like this has potential. And I feel like when I talk about it, things go in the opposite direction. Ooh, Chris has got some fighting words for Taurus. Uh-oh, Taurus. Where are you at, Mr. Tejas? All right. I know it's time because I'm sweating. I'm sweating right now. That's when you know. I'm sweating. It's time to go. Hour and a half in. It's time to go. I appreciate you guys. You're the best for hanging around. I've never done this. And of course, as I'm closing, I'm trying to close because I'm sweating. Wine intoxication. And Mr. Sellout calls in.
Hey, man.
Good, Mr. Tejas.
I shall represent, man. You still represent, Bobby.
That number is consistently the biggest standout in the field. You already know that.
Man, that's why I put it on today, man. I had a feeling Kyle always rise to the occasion, man. He really does,
Yeah,
man.
he does. He does. Hey, so Chris thinks that you lost this one-on-one with Manny. You got
Oh
anything to
my
say about her?
God. Oh my God. Everybody tripping off the man. Manny had his comments. Manny's the homie. I'm never gonna go 100% on the homie like that, man. That's friendly fire, man. What am I doing? Like, come on, man.
Chris
Manny not no op, man.
Chris is
I
calling
let
her
him
shot,
have it.
man. Hey, wait a second now. Do we have a Hamilton in the building right now? Is this Kyle's cousin or wait a second here?
I can't see the chat. Hold up.
We got Claude Hamilton in the building right now. Do we think that I know Derek follows this show religiously. I'm sweating. I'm sorry. This is not a striptease, but I'm sweating.
Hey, man, do your
Um,
thing, Bobby.
Hey, Claude, do we have relations here with Kyle? Oh shoot, my mic's getting all screwed up. Hold on. I need to know that because I actually was supposed to play golf with Derek multiple times in the fall. His father, who's an absolute beast. Yeah, that's right. This is turning into an OnlyFans account. That's right. And Taurus is here for it.
That's right. I ain't going nowhere, man. You gotta tell them, man. I'm always around, man. I'm always around, man. I'm always lurking in the comments doing something, man.
And I thought about, I see some of these OnlyFans creators getting what, like 3, 4, 5 million a year.
Oh my
I may
God.
not have their features, but
Hey,
I'd be,
Bobby,
I'd,
that's a slippery slope, man. Too
I'd be
much of
willing to
anything is
try.
never good, man.
What do? They put their handles up on the screen. They go like this. Let's see, where is it? They go like this. Is it what they do? And then you just start to kind of like unload the sleeves.
Man, I ain't a part of that world. I ain't I can't be soliciting my body like that, man. My body is my temple, man.
We all want to know what's under that 14 jersey, don't we?
Hey, nah, hell nah, man. Listen, man, it's dad bod. I got dad bod.
Oh god. Hey, that's apparently the go-to move to find somebody, apparently. So maybe I should just stop working out.
Hey, Bobby. Well, you gotta do it for you, man. You gotta do it for you.
Hey, give me your closing thought, because I'm going downhill fast. What you got for me?
I had a lot of not optimism. What is it? What's the opposite of optimism? It's a little late right now. My daughter right here is in the
You're
gutter.
optimistic?
No. What's the opposite of optimistic?
So
Pessimistic.
you're pessimistic about something.
No, not now. But prior to after the Eagles game, I was pretty pessimistic about this team and where we was going moving forward. But
Oh
after
yeah.
that game tonight, seeing Zay break out with his 1,000 yards,
Yeah.
seeing Derrick Henry get right back to where he was, he almost broke for 200. I'm trying to think of another situation. I
Well, you
mean,
go on and on. I mean, Bateman being down with a foot injury, yet he scores a touchdown. Andrews continues to be dominant in the red zone. Let's do this too. Let's make sure she gets her camera time. Oh, I tried to go split screen for you.
Oh no, she
Who's
don't
this?
no camera time. She's bedtime. Go get in the
Who's this?
bed, yo.
Is this your daughter?
Yeah, this is my baby girl.
Yeah, tell her to
man.
say hello. What's
Say
going
hi.
on?
Say hi.
How are you? What's your name? How are you?
Say Kennedy. She's shy.
Hey
She's
Kennedy,
shy.
how are you?
Look. You say hi.
Hi.
Hey Kennedy, I'm friends with your pops.
Yeah. When I'm on YouTube and that you on YouTube.
Oh, you lost some teeth recently, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's why she's afraid to
Let's see
smile.
those teeth. Kennedy, give us a smile. Let's see those teeth that are missing.
Mm.
Look at those things. They're probably coming in soon, aren't they?
Go lay down, man. Go ahead. Put that in the trash before you poke yourself.
That's awesome.
Man, but I had plenty of pessimistic attitudes about the team and where we was going. But man, seeing the guys get a great team win tonight, it was promising. Seeing Lamar and Bateman again, even though they had a little snag, lack of communication, whatever that was, it still got it still got it going with the toe tap. You had Likely doing this thing. You had Mark Andrews doing this thing, man. If we can keep that momentum going, man, we can't be stopped. I just don't see it happening at this point, man. Monka
Yeah.
did his thing too. Zach did his thing. All across the board, man. We played a great game despite the fumbles and the
Yeah.
pick or whatever else, man. We went through adversity and we came out on top, man.
Yeah. This is a complete team win. I mean, you had
Yeah.
Justin that drilled it from 51. You had
Yeah,
obviously
I forgot
2
about Tuck. I'm sorry, man. I forgot about
yeah,
Tuck. Tuck
2 game
bounced back
changing.
on us,
Yeah,
man.
right. Speaking of pessimism, there was all kinds of pessimism, deservedly so, about Justin. He drills it from 51 on a blustery day. You get game changing performances from or individual plays from Marlon in the first half, or
Hey,
excuse me, in
yo,
the second half.
Samuel, bro, what are you talking
What's
about,
what's
bro?
he
I'm
saying?
looking at the comments, teaching me something cute, bro. Hey, yo,
What did he
Sam, I'm
say?
about to block you, cuz. What you talking about,
What
bro?
did he say?
You said cute as hell, brother. Hey, man, what you calling no another man cute, dog? What you talking about, man?
He's calling you cute.
Everybody get one chance, but bro, you say some all off the wall shit again, I'm blocking you, dog.
Where is this? Let me see this.
I'm telling you, yo, Bobby, I be live like late at night sometimes. It get crazy.
Wait a second here. I'm not seeing this. Is he hitting you up privately? He's
No,
trying to
I'm
get
looking
with.
at the comments. I seen the comment or something. Samuel, right near Chef, and they say Samuel Moore.
I mean, hey, he might just be speaking the truth. He likes
Oh,
that edge
all
up you
right,
got going on right
my
now.
fault. Man, I don't know. That shit weird. I don't know. Y'all tripping.
Hey, listen. Everybody likes a little edge up from the boy. He's looking clean. It's after
Hey,
midnight on the
man.
East Coast. You know how it goes.
He said my daughter. All right, you talking about my baby girl? I appreciate it, man. But yeah, that just sounded
This guy's
weird.
ready to come after him, man. Come on,
It sounded weird. You got to put a comma or something there, man.
man. It's like me and Cure. I was ready to throw hands easily when he was talking bunch of shit in the live
Hey,
chat.
Bobby,
You're
you know
ready to
how I
throw
get.
hands.
It's easy to interpret shit wrong when you're reading it sometimes, Bobby. You know.
That's right. That's right. Here he comes. He's making sure he's got you right now. He's saying your daughter's cute, and I agree.
Oh
Kennedy is
man, all
very
right,
sweet.
my fault, Sammy. My apologies, brother.
Very sweet.
I misinterpreted. I'm sorry, man. My fault.
Listen.
My fault.
These Tejas, man, Sam. The guy's trying to freaking throw hands any chance he gets down there. Must be the Lone Star State.
My
Must be a
fault,
thing.
man.
All right, brother. Hey, great being with you. Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
sir, man.
Glad I
Happy
had a chance.
holidays.
Glad I had a chance to meet your daughter. She's very, very sweet. And
Oh yeah, I got another one, but she crossed town, man. I got
oh,
another
nice.
baby girl. Yeah, no serious on
Well,
this shit for real.
all the
Yeah,
best to you and yours, brother. I'll catch up with you
yeah,
soon.
man. All right, y'all be safe, man.
Yep, you do the same. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Bobby late nights got to get to bed. Good solid showing. Over 800 of you concurrently watching tonight, which is always fun. Ohio State absolutely destroyed Tennessee to the point where the college football playoff so far has been a little underwhelming after last night's performance between Notre Dame and Indiana. I hope that's not the case moving forward, but not boding well right now. I'm still happy they expanded the playoff, but this first year might be a little bit of a experiment. So time will tell. Appreciate you guys. I will catch up with you tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. My date's not till 5, so I should be able to hop on here and get some stuff done. Did Texas spank Clemson too? I didn't even watch that one. What was the final score on that? Let me get that real quick. What were the finals today? Oh, yeah, 38-24, Texas beat Clemson. 42-17, Ohio State over Tennessee. 38-10, Penn State over SMU. And 27-17, Notre Dame over Indiana. Not a great start for the playoff, but I like it. And hopefully after a while, it'll course correct itself. I like the 12-team. If it works for March Madness, I know not all things are created equal. But I hope over time, maybe not in year one, but I hope over time it'll start to work. Appreciate you guys as always for dropping in. Please like the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Do all those things that help me out. Hit the notification bell. If you want to donate, you can do so through Venmo or Cash App or the YouTube Super Chat feature. Thanks to Primary Residential Mortgage for their continued support. Thanks to all of you. And be on the lookout tomorrow. I'm sure I'll find a way to get some content in. All right. So enjoy your nights. Get some sleep. I'm going to go shower and apparently I have to shower now because the wine made me sweat. So what are you going to do? But thanks for hanging, guys. I'll catch up with you soon.